If you are an e-commerce brand owner selling on Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, or Magento, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to send branded email shipping updates to your customer that looks like this one, and this one, and we'll even do this one together so you know the whole process and can replicate it for your brand. Let's get into it. Okay, so now we're going to go over what apps you should use to send these email notification, how to create branded ones. We're going to go through an email example together of me doing it live with you, how to launch these notifications inside of the platform we will use, click by click, and how to get these email approved as transactional. We're going to go over what is a transactional email later, but you're going to see it's going to be super useful. Now, there are three main goals with this email. The first one is to share order details with people, so exactly like a recap of what they ordered, and send them these updates along every step of the shipping process. So you can actually go pretty deep with this shipment notification. So for example, when you started fulfilling, when you're done fulfilling, when the order is out for delivery, when it's in transit, if it gets delayed, if it's delivered, you can actually go pretty deep. These are all the possible combination or possibilities you have. We're just gonna tackle the three main ones. So when you ship the order, when it's out for delivery, and when their items just got delivered, right? These are the three main ones besides the order confirmation that they get as soon as they order. Now, we'll also share a tracking link with them, so to a page like this where they can actually track their information and where their package is. And then the last thing is we can share product recommendation. So if you have a product that is the next step, so after people order your hero product, you can probably upsell them to a subscription, a secondary item, something that's complementary, or basically push them to the next step you want them to take. So what apps to use and how to integrate them together. We'll need two apps. The first one is going to be an email sender to actually send the email that we will create. And then the next app is a shipment tracking app. So when you get the update from the carrier through that app, you're going to be able to push the data to your email sender and send the update email at the right time, okay? So I've used many apps, and the best combination is by far Klaviyo and Aftership. So Klaviyo is an email marketing app, and Aftership is going to be our tracking app. And if you don't know me, I'm Christoph. I've made millions of dollars for my e-commerce client using email marketing, so I kind of know what I'm doing. If you need more information, you can always go to retainwithemails.com to see example of me making mailings for clients. And you can also check out this YouTube channel to see actual proof that I know what I'm doing. So now let's go to Klaviyo and Aftership, create an account, integrate the two together, and then we're going to start creating the email. But first, let's go to Aftership and Klaviyo. So the first thing you want to do is create a Klaviyo account. This is a demo one, but if you don't have one already, you definitely should. You just go to klaviyo.com and then click on sign up. It should appear right here. Click on sign up, enter your detail, and just create an account right over here. And it is a super simple process. Now for Aftership, you have a free trial. This is a demo account again, but you just go to Aftership. Their free trial is just great if you want to just try things out, make sure it's the right fit for you. But go to product, then tracking. They have like many extension apps. The one we need is Aftership tracking. You just create an account. I'm just gonna go to the one I already created. But again, it's super simple to create an account. And then when you have your two accounts, so Klaviyo and Aftership, you need to integrate the two together. The next step is also adding or integrating Aftership with Shopify or your e-commerce platform. I'm just gonna use Shopify because this is the one I use, right? First step is going to integration right here, let it load, and then I'm just gonna view more apps, right? Because I wanna go and find Klaviyo. So just type Klaviyo, click on Klaviyo, install app, give it a second, and then it's gonna ask me which Klaviyo account I want to connect to my Aftership. So I'm just gonna select this one, retain with emails. This is my demo account, and then click on allow. And here you go, it was as simple as that. Now we integrated Klaviyo and Aftership together. If we go to the integration page, we can see that they are integrated together. As you can see, Klaviyo is good. And now if you go to Klaviyo and then you scroll down to go to the metrics, click on analytics and then metrics, you will see that we got a bunch of triggers from Aftership. And what these will allow us to do is send an email exactly when, for example, let's pick this one. When an order got delivered, we'll be able to send an email right after it, right? When the order is in transit, we'll be able to send an email right after it. And the same thing goes for all of these triggers. Now, we're in the free plan right now of Aftership. If you actually pay for the pro plan, I think that's what it's called, you will have way more triggers. So if the order is delayed, I think this is a trigger that's not here already. So when the order is delayed, you'll be able to send an email for it, right? So I highly recommend you upgrade to the Pro plan because you'll have way more possibilities, especially if you're a bigger brand, you'll definitely need it, okay? Now let's go back to AfterShip to integrate it with Shopify. So integration, again, just click here and then view more apps and click on Shopify. Again, if you use Magento, BigCommerce, just click on your relevant app, click on install app. So right here, our screen might look a little bit different. Right here, this button says open for me. If you've never done it, then it's gonna say install. Click on install, then it's gonna install it into your Shopify theme, and then it's gonna transform to this button. So I'm gonna click on open now, and then actually connect the AfterShip account to my Shopify account. So as you can see, it sent a 6-digit code. I'm just gonna go to my email inbox, copy the code, paste it here. So I'm gonna pause this video. So I've grabbed the code, I'm just gonna paste it here, then click on login, let it load. Here you go. So choose an organization below to start using AfterShip. This is the one I wanna use. So I'm just gonna click on it. And here you go. Now we integrated Shopify, AfterShip, and Klaviyo together. It's time to create the email that we will send to people as updates, right? So you will just go to figma.com right here. I have it pinged, but essentially you just type into the search bar figma.com. I'll have the link in the description, and you can go create a free account. It's totally free, especially if you're new to it. If you need more usage, you can always pay for it, but to get that tutorial done, you won't need to. And as soon as you create an account, you will be redirected to a page that looks like this. You create a new design file, and then you'll have a blank file that looks similar to this one, right? Okay, so now we're going to replicate this email one-to-one on this blank Canva so you can actually see the entire process that goes behind creating a branded email notification, okay? So the first thing is we're going to click on this rectangle tool right here and put the rectangle there. Now I'm just gonna change the color of it. I'm just gonna click on fill, click on the eyedropper tool, and then click on the color you want. Or you can just go here and paste the exact color code that you wanna use for your brand, right? Now for the text, you just click on the text tool right here, click on text, and thank you for your order. Okay, so now we need to add the logo. You just click on your file, like wherever you store them, and then you click on your sample logo or your own logo, and you just drag and drop it here. And I'm just gonna center it. If you don't know how to center things, you just click on this button in the top right corner. Okay, so for the headline, we're just gonna select the text tool in the top left corner, type out our headline, and play around with the settings. Here, I'm just centering the text in the middle of the frame. Now I'm just trying to make everything look better. So instead of 50 in sizing, I'm just gonna go for 105, centering it, adding an exclamation mark, making it title case, dragging it up. Like it's just to make it look better. Then I'm just gonna select a color that I already have on the Canva with the eyedropper tool. Just gonna duplicate the text because you already know now how to edit text. Now as for the picture, you can drag it and drop it from your computer, but yeah, this is the easiest way, especially if you want to customize that email for your brand. Me, I'm just going to duplicate what I had on the left because I have quick access to it. So for the progress bar now, just hit the R key on your keyboard to get the rectangle tool and make one click to get a square. Then rotate it 45 degrees to get the shape that you want, and then select whatever color you want for it. Now I'm just going to duplicate the square that we just created and just increase the size and step it back like one layer to just basically make another shape very similar to this one, but this time without a fill and just a stroke, so we can have like that exact shape that you're seeing on the screen right now. Now I'm gonna duplicate it 3 times, so 1 and 2, actually no, just 2 times, to get like 3 shipping stages. Shrink everything down with Ctrl K just to keep the ratio intact. Now we have 6 squares on the Canva. I'm just gonna select the first 2 together, group them with Ctrl G, and do the same for the other ones. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is make sure the spacing is even. So I'm just gonna make it 180 pixels between each shipping status. Since this is an out for delivery email, we basically need to unselect the last checkbox. So this is what I've done, and then I'm just gonna center everything really quickly. Now I'm just gonna zoom in, go to the pen tool in the top left and make 2 clicks to draw a line. I'm just gonna increase the stroke really quickly and select the same color as the squares. Now I'm just going to select everything to make sure spacing is even. I'm just going to go to the top right corner and adjust the amount of pixels between each element. Here, this is just me adding text. This should be manageable for you at this point. So I'm just going to make sure everything's centered once again. So zooming in on everything individually and making sure. Now I'm just going to move the text elements a bit further down because I think it looks better. And we need to find the check mark that's on the design on the left, right? So I'm just going to type checkmark SVG because I want to find basically the asset that allows me to import it into our design. Just click on the first one, doesn't matter, download it, and then drop it into the design file. Okay, so now I'm just going to shrink it a little bit and making it white or the same color as the background so we can just have it look branded. So now we're going to scale this progress bar up and down with Control K just to make sure we keep the ratio intact and we don't mess up everything, right? So this is it for the progress bar. Now let's move into the next section and let's drag some text. First, you know how to do it at this point in the tutorial, but yeah, just gonna drag the text with Control Alt if you're on Windows, Command and Option if you're on Mac. Now click on R to grab the rectangle tool and just pull a rectangle onto your design file. Now it's showing up in front of the text. We basically need to push it to the background. So on the left panel, just push it down and then make it white, right? So that's it for this section. We need to do a button now. So again, put a rectangle on the Canva, round the corner with like the corner radius tool on the top right, adjust the color with whatever you want the color to be, right? And then I'm just gonna add the text. So track my order. This is what my call to action is going to be. I'm just going to shrink it down, move it further to the left, and just edit the color. Okay, so now I'm clicking again on the pen tool in the top left and drawing a straight line. Now what's happening is it's showing up below the button. So I'm going to the layers panel and moving it up so we can see it, increasing the stroke and making the button color white or like the arrow color. And then I'm just shrinking the arrow, adjusting everything so it looks nice, and just kind of like zooming in, zooming out, looking at it from different angles so I'm sure it looks okay, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna make a quick note on something specific I want you to understand. Is like right now we've designed the email, like the template that we're gonna use to send to every customer, but not every customer is gonna receive the same email. So for example, as you can see, there's like the customer's address right here. Like every customer has a different address, therefore we will have to use a variable to populate here. Same thing, FedEx, not everyone is gonna receive its package through FedEx. So there are actually variables in this email. And that's why we need to make sure we have these pieces that I've highlighted in green, set it up as a variable inside of our email sender so every customer gets his relevant information and not some generic ones. And obviously same thing goes for their order ID, tracking number, and email address. Each customer has a specific one, an individual one. So we need to make sure these ones are variable too. And also different customer will have different things inside of their shipments. So we need to make sure this one is a variable too. So now that we've designed the email, let's make it responsive and dynamic for every customer inside of our email sending platform, Klaviyo. So this is our email, and because we designed it in Figma, this is a platform that we're on right now, then we're going to use image slices to import this design inside of Klaviyo. So to grab the slice tool, you just click on S, or otherwise you just go here and select slice. And we're gonna make slices of everything that is not dynamic within this email. So these are static images. So we're just gonna grab all of it here, like this, for example. I don't wanna make slices too big because if they are, then the email is gonna load slowly and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna make small slices and make sure everything loads quickly, right? I'm just gonna move it up, maybe push this up a bit, and then make the final slices with the final button. Okay, we're good. Now I'm just gonna copy all of these slices or like select them here and then export all of them as PNG file in 1x. So export 5 layers, and here I have all of them in a zip file. Now I'm just gonna go to compressor.io because this will shrink the image file sizes, make them load quicker, and will have a better chance of customer opening our emails and not landing in spam. So now let's go to downloads, or actually I'm gonna unzip the file first. Let me click on order updates. It's gonna unzip, and then I'm just gonna select all of them, drag them into compressor.io, let it compress, and then once it's done, I'm just gonna download everything. So as you can see, download all, and I have a new file of compressed images. Now let's go into Klaviyo, and we're going to build a flow every time an order is out for delivery. As you can see, I have one right here, but it's on draft. We're going to create one from scratch. So you can see, create flow, build your own, and same thing, we're gonna do out for delivery. And now I just want to add a tag. I'll just pick the after ship one I created, but if you want to call it something different, you just call it like tracking emails. And then you can create the tracking email tag and then just create the flow. I always like to add tags, especially for after ship flows, because that way you can just quickly find them. Then you just click on the create flow, let it load, and then we will pick the relevant trigger. So our flow is out for delivery. We need to pick after ship tracking metric. So you just go to your metric right here, click on after ship tracking, scroll down for a bit until you see out for delivery, the flow that we want to create, and then you just click out for delivery. So then click on save, and then we are going to add one email inside of that flow. So every time an order is marked as delivery, the customer is going to enter that flow and he's going to receive that email that we're implementing right now. So I'm just going to click on the email. And for the subject line and preview text of your email updates, I always like to make these ones super simple because you want your customer to understand straight away that he's going to receive an update about his product or his order, and that he can just open, find the tracking link, and everything. All right. So I'm just going to call it your order is out for delivery. And for the preview text, I'm just going to make it like excited for you. And then, yeah, that's it. Now I'm just going to untick that box because you don't want to skip recently emailed profile. If the customer that gets through that flow has received an email recently, I still want him to get updated about his order. That's why I'm unticking that box right here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and create the email from scratch. Create blank email, let it load. I'm going to delete the part that I don't need. So the social media icons, I don't need them. And then I'm going to grab all of the slices I downloaded earlier, and really all of them, I'm just going to drop them inside of the email right here. So it kind of messed up the order of our email. So we're just going to reorder our slices. But yeah, super simple stuff. Just drag and drop them. The drag and drop editor is super easy. And then we're going to add all of the dynamic content. But first, I'm just going to make sure this is the same color as the rest of the email. So I'm just going to pick the color picker. Basically, make the color of the unsubscribe link match the thing above, just to make sure everything is branded correctly. Here we go. Now let's make the email content dynamic, starting with the first section, the text. Okay. So I'm going to go to the email, grab the copy that we have written for the section right here, paste text only. I don't want the formatting. And I'm just going to select all of it, center it. So Control A to select everything. And then I'm going to center it here. The background, I want it to be the same as the email right here. So I'm just going to go to our email, grab the color from here. If you don't have the color picker tool, right, you can always go back to Figma and just grab the color from there. And here you add a background color and you add the same one as the rest of the email. So that way it has a seamless transition. And we're going to worry about making this dynamic later. For now, I just want to update all of the sections. So here, we'll just grab the static text that we created. Control A to select everything, Control C to copy. Then Control A to select everything, Control V to paste without the formatting. And then this section, I'm just gonna make it white. So I'm just gonna drag it into the top left corner to make it white. And here you go. Now, last section is gonna be the table. We're actually gonna do this one later. For now, I just wanna show you how to make these two text pieces dynamic, because the table is going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to do this after. So to do that, let's go into preview and test right here, and then we can just find the courier name right here. So courier name, you just click on the variable to copy it, as you can see, and then click on done, and we're going to go into the text and paste the variable instead of the FedEx thing that we created. Now paste the text only. I don't want to paste with formatting because otherwise it's going to look weird. But yeah, right here you have the courier name, and if you go into preview, so I go out of the text thing, I click on preview, you're going to see that it is all, like it has no caps in the first letters. So I'm just going to add it really quickly and make this variable title case. So I'm just going to click here. I'm just going to zoom so you can see, but I'm going to put that character right here. So this one, and then type title really quickly, space, and keep that same text added. I'm just going to put that in the description so you can actually copy it from the YouTube description under that video. But yeah, I'm just going to go into preview settings again and make sure everything is set up correctly. So preview and test. And as you can see, the FedEx now had the capital letter, and it's going to do the same with like USPS and all other carriers that you can be using. So now FedEx is in title case, so we're good. And it's going to do the same with all other carriers, right? So this is good. And for the customer's address, we just need to go in preview and test again, scroll down all the way to the end to expand all of the variables, and so we can have like a clear overview. And then you click on Control F to pull that thing right here, that search tool, and then you can type basically a location. So latest location, this is not the one we want, maybe address will work. So okay, so now the thing is, sometimes it gets tricky because you have multiple address. You have the address that FedEx used to store your shipments, you have the customer address, you have many possible address, and sometimes you will just type address right here, you will not be sure which one you should use. So I'm going to show you how to do this. For now, we're just going to copy this one, and we're going to replace the address that we added in Figma. So paste text only, and now we have an address. Now let's make sure it's the customer address, and for that, we're just going to go into the tracking page. So here you have the address. You can also add country. So country, Canada, CA, China. Again, you have many. You might have China, CHN. You need to be careful what variables you're pulling from this huge drop-down list. And I'm going to show you how you can know exactly which variable you need to take, okay? So let's go to the tracking page, because this is where we'll be able to see the exact customer's shipping address. So courier tracking URL, we're just going to pick it, and then you need to paste it inside of the button section. So right here is the track my order button, link address. I'm just going to paste the courier tracking URL link right here, and then same thing for the other button. So paste it here, and then if you go ahead and preview the email, now it is a clickable button that people can use to go to their tracking details. And now you just need to go on here, and then when you see their delivery address, you need to make sure you pull the right one from the huge drop down list right here, okay? So be careful with that, because you don't want to make customer believe that the product is getting shipped to the wrong address, because this is going to create more issues, right? So now for their order ID, tracking number, email, etc. Again, you just need to go here. So let's do email real quickly together, and then I'll let you do the rest yourself. But customer email address, you just copy it from here, paste it without formatting, paste text only, and then do the same for tracking number. I'm going to speed that up because it's repetitive now. Okay, now let's look at how the email looks for a customer. So now I think it lacks padding right here. The text goes a little bit too wide. So I'm just gonna increase padding on the side. So maybe 25 will do. Let's check 30. Okay, let's leave it like that, because otherwise the email's gonna look messed up on mobile. But yeah, let's keep it like that. But you can always play around with the padding and stuff like that to make it look better. You can adjust the settings and just test the email after. I'm gonna show you how to send yourself a test email so you can just adjust the tiny details. But yeah, this is how you do it. Now, I'm also going to increase the text size just because I think it is too small right now. So let's go to here, then click on style, scroll down to find the normal text style, and then increase the size on desktop right here to like 18, because you can read it better. Maybe 17, something like that is good. Let's go to preview. Now you can see it looks way better, okay? And all of their information are getting updated. As you can see, their order ID is getting populated, tracking number is good, email is good. They can click on the button to go to their tracking page and stuff like that. Everything is solid. Now we just need to do the last step that shows customers within their email exactly what is inside of their shipment. So let's go here onto table and drag and drop the table content. Now I'm just gonna make the title dynamic because every customer again has a unique order. So we will need to use variables to basically build that table from scratch. Now go to content. This looks a bit weird. So I'm just gonna reverse the order of the things. So the text, I'm gonna put it on the right, and the image, I'm gonna put it on the left. And essentially we'll have product image and product description, so title and then quantity. And so right here, I click on text, make it an image, click on the image, make it text, and here you go. I think it looks better. We're gonna do another thing, change the background to match this style right here. So again, I'm gonna go to Figma, copy the color of the email, and then go back to Klaviyo and change the table settings to fit. Here it looks way better already. Okay, now we need to go back into preview and test to grab the image variables. Okay, so let's go to preview and test. Again, expand the entire section and go ahead and look for images on top. And then I'm gonna just check that it's actually an image of the product. So order, align items, item final price, item image. So we're good. I'm just gonna copy one and go to my table, go to table settings, and just paste the variable here. So now just be careful here because this is code. And if you even just type one character wrong, nothing is gonna work. So be extremely careful, follow along, and just make sure you do exactly the same as I do right now, okay? So you're gonna go here to events. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see better because this is a bit tricky, especially if you're new to it. But here, you're gonna delete the first two characters along with the space. So the first character here is the letter E. Now, the last thing we need to do is make sure you delete everything after order line items. So the dot, the zero, the dot, and everything that follows. And you should only have this left, right? This bit. And now here, you're just gonna type item so that every single time, basically that we have one variable for product number 1, 2, or 3, we can have it inside of the table. Because right now, as you can see, it has one row, but through code is gonna basically look up how many product people have inside of their order and make the section show every single product that is inside of their order, basically. Super cool stuff. Let's go back a little bit and just go to preview. Just copy the image variable again. I'm not sure I still have it copied, but Control F, just gonna look up image and copy the code. So now let's go to the table again, click on the image, click add dynamic image and then dynamic image. Then paste the code that you just added. So just follow along because if you make even one mistake in the way you write the code that I'm about to write, it's not gonna show up properly, right? So start from the letter E and delete everything up until the 0 included, right? So delete the 0, write item, and then you click on save. Now what's gonna happen is if you preview the email, every single product is gonna show, like every single product image. We haven't set it up, the product title and the quantity, but it's gonna show up later. For now, we just have the product images. So that guy has 2 products inside of his order. You have the 2 products right here. So now we're just gonna click on done. And then I'm gonna do the same, but this time with the product title. So the product name, whatever you're gonna call it, product name. And then quantity, because I think that's important, quantity. Now I'm just gonna go to preview and test again, scroll down and find the title of the product. So this is title number 1. And then I'm just gonna make it item again. And then quantity, I need to find quantity there. Very similar process. Control F, quantity. And then I'm gonna click on this one. And then here, I'm just gonna make it item. Okay, so now let's check that it actually worked and that we have all of our product the right way. Now what you can do is make that image slightly smaller. So let's do that. Just go into the image settings and max width, I go for 200 typically. Let's check if it looks good now. It looks decent. So now let's shift the alignment maybe to here so it looks better. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. You can always shift every detail in that section right here. Shift the size of the images, the alignment, the table setting, the colors, everything is like customizable, truly. But yeah, I think it looks good. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to make this email that we just created marked as transactional. Because what's gonna happen is Klaviyo is an email marketing platform. So every email that you do send needs to go to someone that is already subscribed to email marketing. And if the person is not subscribed, then he's not gonna receive the email. And obviously we don't want that because every customer needs to be updated whether he's subscribed to email marketing or not. So to do that, you're just gonna click on exit right here, leave the page, and then click on done. Again, I'm just gonna type the subject line again. Your order is on the way. I don't know why it didn't save it earlier, or is out for delivery. Click on done and it's gonna save it this time. Now I'm just gonna click on live and we're going to make this email transactional, okay? So let's do it. Live is just so the email gets sent out, right? But now it needs to get approved as transactional. So to do that, we're gonna email Klaviyo support because they are the one who take care of that, right? They review the email, make sure it's actually transactional email content, that it's an order update, and then you can send it to people who are not necessarily subscribed to email marketing, right? That's the way it works. I have an email template right here. Basically, you just need to send an email to Klaviyo saying, hi, could you review this email and mark them as transactional? And don't forget to implement the flow ID. Again, to check the flow ID and to copy it, you just need to go into the actual flow and go right here. So to the URL flow / and then copy the code that is right next to the / and then go to the template, paste the code. And because you have different flow for different tracking updates, and so you just copy the code right here, paste it into the template or like the email you want to send to them, and then you just go to Klaviyo support. So to email them, you just click on exit, then the question mark right here, support, and then you're gonna be on that page right here. Click on the email support and just send them this particular email. And basically, after you send that email to Klaviyo, they will come back to you saying, yes, this email is approved as transactional, and it's gonna go out to people even if they're not subscribed to email marketing. So yeah, this is the goal. And if you're still here, you're probably aware of the power of email marketing as a whole. And that's why I believe the next thing I'm about to share with you is probably relevant / interesting. All right. I've made a video on how you can go from not using email marketing at all to making your first $1 million from that channel. Just like I'm doing it for my clients. You can see more evidence on this YouTube channel or at retainwithemails.com. If you'd like my help to do it entirely done for you, you can obviously click the first link in the description and have a call with me to discuss if it would be a fit. But if you want more details on how to go from $0 to your first $1 million and you want to actually learn the whole process, then you can check the video that is showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.